Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 5 Minute Gaming News, the show that somehow got messier. But you know what? I actually think you'll like it now. Today in the news, I woke up, first thing I saw right out the gate were all your tweets saying, Jesse, you have to cover this news, and so I shall. Square Enix is selling off its Western franchises. I'm sure you know that I, in the past, have ribbed Square Enix for their consistent didn't meet expectations take on its Western arm of video games. Every time a new Tomb Raider or Deus Ex or Marvel game came out, it would sell several million, and then Square Enix would have a press release about how it didn't meet expectations, and we'd all be stuck here wondering, what were those expectations? Well, now that is a thing of the past, as Embracer Group, a Swedish video game and media holding company, part of that whole Nordic games thing, has agreed to purchase the majority of Square Enix's Western-based studios. Embracer's subsidiaries consist of Gearbox, Cox Media, Saber Interactive, THQ Nordic, and now they're adding Eidos Montreal, Crystal Dynamics, and more, all for $300 million, which I think, at least to me, shows what Square Enix thought of its Western arm, because selling all that, Tomb Raider included, for $300 million when everyone else is spending billions on things? I don't know. It makes it seem like they didn't think they were worth a lot. According to Fortune, in the past 24 months, Embracer has announced nearly 30 takeovers, becoming Europe's most valuable gaming creator. Tomb Raider and other franchises Embracer will acquire as part of this deal haven't topped sales charts for several years, but still have tremendous value. Critics have pointed out that Square Enix's management of the studios have been lacking, as the company focused more on its own legacy titles, such as Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, and Kingdom Hearts. And I agree with that assessment. I think they've been nailing Final Fantasy lately. My friends who love Dragon Quest are getting exactly what they want. My friends who love Kingdom Hearts are getting exactly what they want. And it was very obvious to anyone with eyeballs and ears and just any common sense that everything else Square Enix was making, they did not see at the same tier and level as their legacy titles. And while I'm still not too thrilled about this whole less and less companies owning more and more of the franchises and games that we love, if it gets me a new Deus Ex, I may reconsider. Just put it out there, Embracer. Thank you, please. PlayStation 5, if you can find one, is finally getting a long-awaited feature, VRR. If you're like, VRR, what is that? Well, first off, it's not some type of R-rated VR, because all VR is R-rated. What it is variable refresh rate. Over on Tech Radar, they've got a great explainer of what that actually means, but basically, its purpose is to remove screen tearing when playing games. When your TV or monitor's refresh rate is out of sync with the rate your console or PC's graphics card delivers frames, you get kind of this weird tearing. I'm sure you've seen it playing games, or you've seen it in a video someone's made. It's this wacky thing that sometimes the top half of your screen is like a second before the lower half. It's super obvious in shooters or horror games where you have to turn around real quickly in first person. Trust me, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. On HDMI 2.1 VRR compatible TVs and PC monitors, VRR dynamically syncs the refresh rate of the display to the PS5 console's graphic output. Sony's Hideki Nishino says. At the moment, it's being rolled out on several games like Destiny 2, Call of Duty, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and all the usual suspects you would assume involving fast movement. But more will come later. All in all, it's a pretty neat bit of tech. Something that I think, obviously, we'll see more and more of as time goes on with these consoles and all the different tricks and things they have to make it work better with a wide variety of TVs and whatever. Is it something that is super important? I don't know, but I think it's neat, and I want to share with you, and it will probably make all of you out there playing shooters on consoles have a better experience. Will you be better than anyone with a keyboard and mouse? Never. Never happening. And finally, since it's Monday, it's time for releases. Tomorrow, get ready for Loot River, the procedurally generated labyrinth crawler where you roguelike your way through killing baddies and controlling platforms. Slide them to solve puzzles and mess with your enemies trying to take you down. It looks like a slippy, slidey great time. On Thursday, you got your Warhammer and my XCOM. You got your XCOM and my Warhammer. It's Warhammer 40k Chaos Gate Daemonhunters. Command your squad of Space Marines, learn new abilities, and specialize your champions. Fight chaos, although I hope you know you are doomed to lose, mortal scum. Hey, you can even build a base, although it will be overrun by the infectious horde of Nurgle, so. Also on Thursday, Trek to Yomi! A young swordsman, a lone samurai must voyage beyond life and death in this cinematic, stylized, amazing-looking tribute to samurai movies of old. You can try to hack and slash or use your opponent's strength against him by employing deft maneuvers to throw him off balance and land that killing blow. You know, all the things I'm terrible at, but it looks amazing. And finally, also on Thursday, is the narrative RPG about digitized human consciousness and artificial bodies, Citizen Sleeper. On the edge of space and potentially reality, you play in cycles deciding what to do with the time you're awake. Work, play, uncover the truths of the cosmos. It looks like a total mind trip and a completely different experience from the other games this week. Speaking of a total mind trip, patreon.com/Jesse Cox. That's where I went with it. Don't ask why it's a mind trip, just accept it. Just like Melwis Merdin, Morton Greenslit, and Jonathan Rush have accepted it. Anyway, that is it for 5-Minute Gaming News. Thank you so much for all the support in the comments, and the likes, and the shares, and the subscriptions. It means the world to me, y'all. I will see you tomorrow.